What's up, everybody? This is Kayfabe Theory, and today we are talking the Elimination Chamber PLE. I'm Gary, and as always,
I'm Keith.
And let's go ahead and get started with the Men's Elimination Chamber. Drew McIntyre had the stars aligned, black holes opened, the gods looked favorably down upon him. He got one elimination and was the only man who walked out of the chamber. So, Keith, thoughts on the match?
Enjoyed it so far. I think we predicted this automatically that Drew was going to come out as the winner. My thing is, there's a lot of questions about it because some of the stuff didn't make sense. Like, the big one for me was AJ Styles attacking LA Knight.
If I remember correctly, I think LA Knight ended up inadvertently costing AJ Styles the qualification match against Drew McIntyre. So This is probably that's probably vengeance. So AJ Styles flew halfway around the world to kick the hell out of LA Knight and cost him a chance at a WrestleMania main event.
Well, we're about to find out more about on Friday. Another one was Randy versus Logan. Randy RKO Logan, and then I think Logan was trying to get revenge, so he brass knuckled him after he got eliminated. So I'm not sure that's going to be a WrestleMania match, but if it is, that's kind of interesting. But then I already know who's going to win. My biggest reaction is basically Bobby Lashley spearing Logan through the glass pod. That was amazing. And his reaction afterwards was crazy. I know they tried to muffle what he was saying.
If you read lips, you knew what Bobby was saying. That was kind of one of the things I thought that was cool about the men's match, and I don't know how much of it was real. I think like Orton's back was probably real because you just saw him squirming after, I think it was the DDT on the outside. But this men's match it's the first one in a while that's really felt like you could feel the pain in the competitors. As we move along, talking the women's Elimination Chamber match. They could have called an audible in this match and have Tiffany Stratton won, and that would have been perfectly fine after this. I think this was kind of like Tiffany Stratton, not necessarily to the same level, but she got a little bit of a Kofi rub from Kofi Mania. She's going to have a rocket strapped to her back to the main event scene.
She did what I wanted her to do, because last time when I predicted, I said her and Naomi to show out because they're the ones that hasn't been seen that much, and she did it. She showed her abilities and her mindset by getting a pin off on Naomi, even though that was kind of disappointing. I didn't want Naomi to go out like that because Naomi was doing well too. She did like a split leg drop from the side of the chamber. I was like, Dang, it's crazy. I was like, yo, she's doing it. Either way, good job, Tiffany.
Yeah. It was sort of bittersweet because, I mean, it's the same thing. I think Naomi was eliminated by the time there were 4 competitors in, and just it shows the smartness of Tiffany Stratton as like the newest star on the main roster for the women's. But yeah, it's just sort of bittersweet. And I don't know where she's going to go from here, but I thought Liv was another one that put out in this match. It kind of felt like they were part of like the biggest moments in the match. And I think they're trying to establish her as more of a current main event competitor ever since she lost the SmackDown. I think it was the SmackDown Women's Championship to Rousey. And I think they're trying to get her to be another player in the scene. And I mean, you can tell she's been improving. There's still a little bit of like hesitation or whatever on some maneuvers, like that sunset flip power bomb she does. I mean, I think she's gonna be on her way up.
I'm still iffy on Liv. I don't know. Maybe it's like a wait and see for me. I'm not going to judge it too hard on it. I'll hold my judgment later on.
Yeah, I think she's one of those that would probably benefit from some kind of like big character swerve if this revenge tour, because a lot of people wondered where she was going after the Extreme Rules thing. When she started acting crazy, putting people through tables and stuff all the time, it started almost giving like Harley Quinn vibes. But then it just basically stopped with the tag team championships and it didn't really go anywhere. So I wonder if she'll have like a big character change at some point. And it's funny, we're talking about the women's chamber match and we haven't even mentioned the fact that the man, Becky Lynch, was the one who won it. We're talking about everybody else. But I mean, I think anybody who's been even quasi paying attention could see that Becky was going to win. Even though we'll talk more about Rhea and Nia at the end, I'm starting to question whether the crowd will turn on Becky at WrestleMania for mommy.
Yeah, she is how over she is.
Yeah, and I mean she's in Australia, but even just in general, she's like the lone outlier of the Judgment Day. Mommy can do no wrong in the eyes of some.
I don't know. Maybe I still think it might stay the same because Becky's still a great face. And remember that she's just a heel for Rhea. And I think that if they continue on their battles, where show behind the mic how great they are, I'll still believe it still be the same. Maybe more a divided crowd, I might feel, versus everybody's cheering on for Rhea versus Becky. I said Becky. God.
Yeah, like I don't think it's going to be like one of those Sheamus Daniel Bryan moments where just everybody will turn on who they're supposed to be cheering for, but yeah, it's gonna be a lot of back and forth between these two.
Next, for me, I'm really interested for Bianca Belair. It's starting to look like it might be a setup for Jade and Bianca because right now Bianca has no match for WrestleMania, and she's talking about, oh, I need to continue on her streak at WrestleMania, so she has to be there. And I saw that expression on the face when she first lost. No, when she lost. No, not even when she lost. When she got pinned by Liv. And I'm starting to see like a different side of Bianca that I didn't really see before because she don't usually react like that.
I'd be curious as to what they do to build it. Would it be something simple where if Jade's coming in a lot like she was at AEW, where she's like making the money, she's that bitch and all that, is it just going to be simply that where it's going to be proposed that Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair is going to be a money match at WrestleMania? Maybe it morphs from there, but it could be a very simple startup where Jade's just maybe she just shows her marketing or business ability, and that's how it starts. And maybe it ends up being a little bit more of a story and personal. Then we move on to the Judgment Day with Dominic Mysterio versus Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Judgment Day comes out on top, still tag team champions. I mean, altogether, this was like a solid match back and forth. I think this is what the Judgment Day needed, though. I think it's good that R-Truth apparently flew to Austria instead of Australia, because Judgment Day just needed to be able to come into a match and just smack down somebody with authority.
I'm just glad that once again we can see Judgment come in, perform as a tag team, not just walk around hanging on with tag team championships. For me, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate did what I expect them to do, because I used to watch these guys when they were in NXT UK. So I seen what they were able to do, and I knew what they can do, and I'm glad they were able to show that at Perth. And also, I would love a kudos to Dunne, because I'm so worried about him during his Bush days. I was like, wow, they really messed this dude up.
Yeah.
But when he finally got back to who he originally was, I was like, thank goodness. And I'm seeing it all over again. It's like I feel like I'm watching NXT again. Well, I'm sorry, NXT UK again. And I'm so glad for Dunne. He's such a great wrestler.
I mean, we see what happens just with Trips is in charge now that wrestlers get to do characters and have like investments in themselves. Like it's more genuine. Your best works in anything is when you do something personal. There's the kayfabe philosophy of the day. The breaking news segment on the Grayson Waller effect. I know Waller was the hometown guy and stuff, and he was having a good time with that. This guy has such great one-liners, and when he said, "The man who can thank the American education system for his inability to finish a story," I had to stop the PLE because I was laughing so hard. He just drops these insults, and it's the same thing with him on Twitter with anything else that he does. When he just straight up trolls the Swifties and everything, like he's so great at just the backhanded insults.
Hey man, Grayson Waller. I get it. Like here, like talk, like that's it. Like, yo, you got it, man. You got it.
Yeah. Can't even be mad at him. But outside of that, I mean, we got Seth says he's almost cleared, which seems really fast. So maybe it was an overreaction at the beginning of what the diagnosis, or he worked at John Cena levels to recover. Either way, don't care. He's going to be ready, we assume, by the end of this week. And then Cody wants a match with The Rock. Dare we even speculate when and if this might even happen? Because as we've already learned, we're all playing Chutes and Ladders, and Triple H is playing 4D chess with us. So,
do we actually see Cody Rhodes going against The Rock on a SmackDown or Raw show? Elimination Chamber was like the only chance for them to have a match.
yeah.
At least that's a PLE, especially that caliber type match. That has to be a PLE. So only way they can have a match is either on a Raw SmackDown, unless they make it a match at WrestleMania.
Where
So
these guys are playing double duty, probably.
that might happen. So truthfully, I think it's all talk, but let's see, find out.
I would understand anybody being slapped like that at a presser would want a match. Be like, all right, well, let's just make this a fair fight then. But yeah, somehow I'm just not buying it that we're getting Cody and Rock one-on-one. But it's a nice thought.
Let's see, one last thing about Grace Waller effect. I find it very strange about Waller not helping Austin Theory after he's getting his beat down from Seth and Cody. So I just like to point that out because usually I expect like they both try to engage since they're buddies and whatnot, but I don't know about now.
Let's be honest. If this is the first time you're doing the Grayson Waller effect in Australia, do you really want to end it with getting your ass beat by Cody and Seth? Can't say I really blame him for just turning the other cheek and just letting his buddy take the stomps. All right, and then we get to the home country hero, the Eradicator, Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax. Okay, this is kind of like we'll go with bittersweet again. This is one of Nia's best matches. This wasn't a match that I felt bored in at any time. I don't think it's going to be like any match of the year candidates. However, I'm really going to need her to just stop straight letting go of the ropes on those annihilators. That was terrifying. So again, kind of like this was, I thought, a decent match, one of Nia's best. But again, I know a lot of people probably think the same. It's a bit of a low bar coming in.
She's just going in there, just hanging up, like, yeah, that's what she's doing every time.
It was on a roller coaster at like Six Flags or something.
I forgot that ride in Six Flags, the one that you go up really tall, up a tower, and then all of a sudden you just drop.
Oh, like the drop zone?
Drop zone, yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically what she's doing. Like,
and I get the same level of anxiety watching both. Nia doing the annihilator in the drop zone.
Jesus Christ. Overall, that's another good match. Once again, another expected. We expected Rhea to come out to win. Now, once again, we have to think about what's Nia going to do because we talked about this in the last video. Okay, Becky Lynch won. Nia beat the brakes off of Becky twice. So now, is Nia going to actually say something about this or do something about this, knowing that the person that she beat is the number one contender? So is she going to try to challenge Becky Lynch for her number one contendership, or is she going to try to insert herself in the triple threat match with Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley? So anything's up in the air for Nia, what she can do, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see which way this plays out because we're in agreement there. Now that Nia's beaten Becky twice with that right hook or whatever, she's going to want to take Becky's spot. It's just going to be how this plays out and how soon it plays out too. Like if Nia says, I beat you, I should be facing Rhea at WrestleMania. Becky will look at Rhea will look at Becky, and Rhea just go and just let the chaos roam. But I tell you what, you also get half a bonus point for calling that superplex. Just the ring didn't implode.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that too. I was like, well, he was half right.
Yeah, well, you need two big behemoths. So I was right. You need a Big Show and a Mark Henry, or a Big Show and Brock Lesnar.
But I will say, this is one of those things. Watching Rhea take the beat down, superplex, like high kick to the temple, and then hitting the riptide on Nia Jax. It really Rhea is a different breed. She is just not human with that level of strength. It is just damn impressive. And it's one of those things. After the beatings she'd taken with Charlotte and a couple of these other matches, Rhea feels like she could be probably a bigger star than Becky, frankly. And it's going to be interesting to see what WrestleMania does for that.
Hey, man, all this is a surprise to you. I expected this. This is another product of NXT when Triple H ran it.
Yeah.
She's another product of Triple H NXT. I saw this before. She can and will, and this is like she getting showing everything that she can do on the main stage, and I'm loving it.
This feels like the making of like a generational women's star.
We're officially done with the last PLE. Now we're on to the road to the WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.
Now, I said once again, we just gotta get our seatbelts on, get that safety bar down, and let's ride.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times while Triple H blows your mind. What I just thought of too is, now that Elimination Chamber is done, one thing that needs to be fixed going forward, Bayley needs focus back on her. She won the Women's Royal Rumble, and the last 2 weeks of SmackDown have been, we need to get laser focused on the Women's Royal Rumble winner. I understand like there's Elimination Chamber, they don't like, there's no storyline with Io and Dakota and Bayley for the PLE, but this needs to get laser focused and needs to get the time that it's due.
Yes, you are totally right. And when they had the Kabuki Warriors had a tag team match with Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae, I thought Bayley would at least try to show up and try to screw with them, but that didn't happen. So that was kind of surprising that didn't take place. This needs to be some type of traction or focus on Bayley trying to win the championship from Io Shirai. There needs to be some type of beef or something, because all only thing we got was basically she got betrayed and then just a bunch of backstage segments. So we need some action or something on Bayley's part, making her statement saying, "Yo, I'm winning this championship. This is Damage Control. I created Damage Control, and I will destroy Damage Control by myself."
All right, to everyone who is watching, thank you so much for watching. Like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let us know down below what you either agree, disagree with, or want to see coming up. Again, this is Kayfabe Theory. I'm Gary, and
I'm Keith.
Thanks again for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video.